Old stories, like fine dust, settle in the corners of the world. They whisper of what was and what will be again. One such story spoke of Ira Manth. It was a tale told in hushed tones around flickering fires. The prophecy was ancient, its origins lost to time, yet it lived on the tongues of the singer people. They were the keepers of songs, the rememberers of forgotten lore. The prophecy foretold a time of great imbalance. A shadow would grow, fed by the hearts of humanity. It would threaten to consume everything, to silence all songs. But it also spoke of a beacon, a light in the encroaching darkness. This light would be Ira Manth. Ira Manth would be born of a special line, carrying a unique gift. They would lead the singer people when the world needed them most. The singer people were not warriors. Their strength lay in their voices. These songs held power, a magic that could soothe troubled souls or stir them to courage. They knew the world's fate often rested on a single, well-sung note, and so they watched and waited for the signs. To understand the prophecy, one must first understand Morah. Morah is not a simple thing. It is not inherently good, nor is it inherently evil. Think of it as an empty vessel, or perhaps a vast, unseen reservoir. It exists within every human heart, and collectively it pools and swirls, shaping the spirit of an age. It is potential. It is the raw stuff of feeling, the uncolored clay from which kindness or cruelty can be sculpted. Morah accumulates over time, generation by generation. Like a slow tide, it rises and falls, influenced by the choices people make. A kind act might add a drop of clear water to this invisible ocean. A cruel word could taint it with a speck of darkness. Together they create a powerful current that can steer the course of entire civilizations. Ultimately, Morah reflects humanity back upon itself. It is a force that grows from the many, affecting the many. There are periods in the long, winding story of the world when the Morah is sweet and clear. These are known as the time of kindness. During these blessed ages, the accumulated Morah resonates with warmth and compassion. People seem to remember instinctively how to live in harmony. Villages are filled with laughter, not shouts of anger. Strangers are met with open hands, not clenched fists. The air itself feels lighter, easier to breathe. In the time of kindness, communities flourish. People help one another without expecting reward. They share their harvests, their skills, their stories. Empathy is the common tongue, understood by all. The singer people during these times sing songs of joy and celebration. Their melodies weave through the everyday lives of ordinary folk. The negative aspects of Morah are at their lowest ebb. This era is marked by a profound sense of shared humanity. Following the gentle quiet of the time of kindness, the Morah begins to stir. A new energy enters the world. This is the time of action. It is not, at its outset, a dark age. Rather, it is an age of ambition, of striving, of great endeavors. The collective Morah shifts from passive contentment to active pursuit. Individuals begin to look outward, seeking to make their mark upon the world. Great cities rise and new ideas spark like tinder. During the time of action, humanity accomplishes much. Explorers chart unknown territories. Scholars unlock new secrets of the universe. Artists create works of breathtaking scale and complexity. However, this burgeoning ambition carries within it the seeds of future conflict. Self-interest begins to grow alongside collective achievement. The desire for personal glory, for power, for wealth, starts to subtly reshape the motivations of many. The vibrant energy of the time of action, if left unchecked, inevitably sours. Ambition, once a driving force for progress, curdles into greed. Rivalry festers into open hostility. This is the painful transition into the time of cruelty. The Morah takes a decidedly dark turn. The collective heart of humanity grows cold. Selfishness seeks to dominate, to inflict pain, to take without thought for the consequences to others. The world becomes a harsher, more unforgiving place. During the time of cruelty, empathy becomes a forgotten language. Mistrust is the air that people breathe. Communities that once thrived on cooperation now fracture under the weight of suspicion and fear. Violence becomes commonplace. Rulers become tyrants. Neighbors become enemies. The songs of the singer people grow mournful, filled with laments for what has been lost. The world in this age seems to forget the very meaning of kindness. When the time of cruelty has reached its zenith, the world enters the time of consummation. This is not merely an extension of cruelty, it is its horrifying apotheosis. The accumulated negative Morah, now a vast and terrible power, can no longer remain an intangible influence. It coalesces, it takes form. This monstrous manifestation, born from the collective darkness of human hearts, is known as the Morah. The Morah is not a single creature, but a pervasive, insidious force. It can be an oppressive atmosphere, a palpable entity of despair that crushes spirits. It can manifest as a collective madness, a wave of destructive frenzy. Under its reign, the world suffocates. Hope dwindles to a flickering ember. Life itself seems to lose its color, its vibrancy. The impact of the Morah is devastating, amplifying the worst aspects of human nature. The very air seems to thrum with its malevolent energy. The prophecy of Ira Manth is inextricably linked to the lineage of the Singer people. This is not a royal line, but a lineage of spirit, of voice, of an ancient sacred duty. For generations, certain families within the Singer people have been known for their exceptional connection to the deeper songs. Ira Manth was to be born from such a family, a child destined to carry a unique weight and a singular power. Ira Manth's ancestors were keepers of the most potent verses capable of influencing the Morah itself. They understood the language of the wind on fire, the cleansing force that could scatter the accumulated darkness. This knowledge was passed down through lullabies, fireside tales, and the shared breath of song. Ira's upbringing would have been steeped in this tradition. The power within Ira Manth was not merely a strong voice or a good memory for tunes. It was something more profound. It was said that Ira possessed a heart that could hear the true song of the world. They had an innate ability to harmonize the voices of others. This gift also came with a burden, a deep empathy that made the suffering of the time of cruelty an almost unbearable weight. Accepting this destiny was Ira Manth's personal journey. When the Morah's shadow lay heaviest upon the land, Ira Manth would rise. Following the ancient call, the scattered remnants of the Singer people would gather. They came from hidden valleys and ruined towns, drawn by an undeniable pull. Led by Ira Manth, the Singer people would prepare for the most sacred and dangerous of their rituals, the singing of the fire song. This was no ordinary performance. The fire song was a complex, powerful incantation, woven from notes of courage, sacrifice, and an unyielding belief in the dawn. It required perfect harmony, absolute conviction, and a willingness to pour every ounce of one's spirit into the sound. Each singer was a vital part of the chorus. As the fire song reached its crescendo, its vibrations resonated deep within the earth and high into the troubled skies. It sought to awaken an ancient elemental power, the wind on fire. This was not a literal wind composed of flames, but a metaphysical storm, a purifying force of immense spiritual energy. The wind on fire, once unleashed, swept through the world. It did not burn flesh or stone, but it scoured away the accumulated darkness of the Morah. It unraveled the very essence of the Morah, dispersing its oppressive presence. With the Morah dispersed by the wind on fire, a profound quiet would settle upon the world. The oppressive weight would lift, the colors would return. Humanity, bruised and weary, would take its first tentative breaths in a world free from the shadow's immediate grip. The Morah, scoured clean of its darkest taints, would begin its slow process of regeneration. The cycle, however, was not broken, it was merely reset. The epic tale of Ira Manth and the Morah was destined to be an echo, a pattern replayed. The aftermath of the Morah's destruction would usher in a new time of kindness. People, having witnessed the depths of cruelty and the brink of annihilation, would cherish peace and empathy with a renewed fervor. Communities would rebuild not just their homes, but their bonds of trust and fellowship. The songs of the Singer people would once again be filled with joy and remembrance. But time, as it always does, would continue its relentless march. The potential for darkness within the human heart, within the Morah, would remain.